I'm Colin Singer, immigration lawyer and managing partner of Immigration.ca. Canada Immigration News Articles, May 2016. Auditor-general finds Canadian citizenship being obtained fraudulently. The Canadian Auditor-General has highlighted serious flaws in the process of acquiring Canadian citizenship, suggesting that immigration authorities routinely failed to adequately detect and prevent fraud. The audit examined more than 100,000 adult citizenship applications submitted during the period July 2014 and October 2015 under the former Conservative government. Key failures of the Immigration Department include: it failed to adequately detect and prevent fraud in the citizenship program. It did not have a systematic method of identifying and documenting fraud risks. Important controls designed to help citizenship officers identify and act on fraud risks were not consistently applied, and the department did not reliably receive from its partners, including the RCMP and CBSA, important information on criminal charges of applicants. The Auditor-General, Michael Ferguson, says the stringent checks that are meant to be taking place are being overlooked, with citizenship being granted to ineligible applicants. Verifying that applications are not fraudulent is a key activity when assessing eligibility for citizenship. The impact of fraud in the citizenship program is that some individuals receive citizenship and its associated benefits without being entitled to them. Once citizenship has been granted, revoking it, if fraud is later discovered, is time-consuming and costly. The department reported that in January 2016, it had about 700 revocation cases that are pending. The three most common reasons for revoking citizenship are fraud related to residency, identity, or undeclared criminal proceedings. Residency fraud involves pretending to live in Canada to maintain permanent resident status and meet residency requirements for citizenship. In 2012, the department issued a public warning that nearly 11,000 individuals had been linked to residency fraud investigations. Unchecked fake travel documents and fraudulent address information are among some of the issues that have been allowed to occur, with several instances of citizenship being granted to ineligible applicants. Immigration Minister John McCallum pointed out that only a small number of cases had been highlighted, but that Ferguson's recommendations would be vigorously implemented. McCallum also said the interdepartmental information sharing would also be improved by year-end, while a move to give officers power to seize fake documents is currently being debated by members of Parliament and is expected to appear in modifications to Bill C-6, known as an Act to Amend the Citizenship Act and to make consequential amendments, which was introduced in Parliament earlier this year. The RCMP was held to account for failing to inform immigration officials of criminal records involving applicants, with at least 2 being granted citizenship despite pending charges against them. Ferguson said individuals had been given access to benefits which they were not entitled, and he said revoking citizenship awarded in error would take significant time and money. Key recommendations at a glance. These include: improve the processes to enter and update problem addresses in the Global Case Management System. Provide citizenship officers authority to seize problem documents and provide them with more detailed guidance and training. Revise information sharing procedures with the RCMP and the CBSA regarding criminal charges against permanent residents and foreign nationals. Develop a systematic evidence-based approach to identifying the risks of fraud as required by its Program Integrity Framework. document risk indicators for residency fraud and ensure that these indicators are checked consistently to detect and prevent fraud, and ensure fraud controls are reviewed regularly and adjusted as required. The Canadian Citizenship Act was comprehensively overhauled in June 2015, and pending implementation of revisions by the current government was expected to significantly reduce the number of applications received, which was previously at about 75% of annual immigration levels. In 2014, more than 260,000 individuals became Canadian citizens, more than during any year in Canada's history, and more than twice the 2013 numbers. Among the major changes implemented in 2015 was the requirement for applicants to be a permanent resident of Canada for 4 of the 6 years preceding the date of an application. Applicants must also be physically present in the country for at least half of those 4 years. A stringent burden of proof of intention was imposed under the new Act, requiring an applicant to prove an intention to reside in Canada as a condition of citizenship. Recently tabled legislation will repeal many provisions of these controversial rules. Aside from the new residency rules, the fee for citizenship was also raised to $630 for an adult and $200 for a child. Penalties for fraud and misrepresentation include a fine of up to $100,000 and 5 years in prison. Applications are submitted to the Citizenship Office in Sydney, Nova Scotia, where they are pre-screened to ensure they are complete and that the 4-year residence rule has been met. Within approximately 1 year from submission, applicants are required to attend an interview to demonstrate their knowledge of Canada. The benefits of Canadian citizenship at a glance. These include international mobility, access to Canadian rights and privileges including eligibility to vote, eligibility for consular assistance overseas, and there are financial benefits including post-secondary education at Canadian rates and easier access to a number of jobs requiring Canadian citizenship.